And here is your number one talk show host, the man with all of the answers, John Sumpter.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. How can I help you?
Oh, this is Joe here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Joe, go ahead.
Oh, good deal, man. My name's Joe Miller. I just got back from the Army, served in Korea, hoorah, with B Company 281 Armor, and I've been a long-time listener to your show, and I just want to get on here and talk to you for a minute. I know you're talking about, Americans need to wake up, and they just don't know how true that is. You know what I mean?
By all the lobbyists and corporate America sponsoring their shows. So you think they're going to go against the money and tell the truth? Hell no.
No, that's not what they're going to do. But let me tell you something. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about this. What's going on is, China, and it's like over 9,000 miles away. We've been sending all this steel over there. And there's only two reasons we send
I bet you about it every day.
That's
I bet you about it every day. Go ahead.
There's only two reasons that you need this much steel. It's to build ships or tanks, and either one is bad news for us.
Totally
you know what I mean?
agree.
I was over in Korea as a sergeant, tank corps, B Company. Can I give a shout out? B Company, hoorah! Some of the boys might be listening today. I don't know.
Good.
What we got going on over here, and the American media is not letting this out, is that there's got to be like over 9,000 Chinese companies. Not business companies. I'm talking about military company. The divisional company. There's over 9,000 companies over there that are doing nautical training, and they're also doing beachhead training. And I'm not joking. This isn't something I'm making up or anything like that.
I know you're not joking. That's why I'm telling you go.
Yeah. No,
I'm a guy that knows exactly what you mean.
Well, I talked to a lot of people about this, and back in B Company, we had my CEO. His name was Missino, and and he was a European. He came over, immigrated, and got into the service. He was a Captain Missino, and he's what the deal was. He was telling us about some training that they went through. That these Chinese, these airplanes would just like do barrel rolls around our F-22s, and I was thinking to myself, I called my dad, and see, my dad's kind of a liberal kind of fella, you know what I mean? And my dad was all like, I told him about this, I told him what I was thinking, and he's like, he was saying, all he could say is, son, I'm disappointed, I guess he didn't believe me or anything like that. I'm missing no, he's from, Croatia over there in Europe. And, I just, I want to know something. I want to know what you think on this. Do you think that the Chinese is an imminent threat to Americans right now, the way everything stands, with the dollar in its weakened state? And, you got over 9,000
we have less than a 5-year window if we don't get on our feet. And
that's exactly right.
I'm not full of it.
No, you're not full of it at all. With the weakened state of the dollar, when Clinton and our current sitting president did what they did, they done goofed. These Chinese, they believe in this Scientology, and they think that the U.S. is evil. They think our way of life is evil. And we didn't call them Chinese when we were over there, because let me tell you what, we were watching the guys across the border, across the DMZ, and you could see that these Chinese, we called them gooks, is what we called them, but I don't know if I could say that on here or not.
You can say anything you want on here, actually.
All right, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, these gooks were just all over it. I've never seen anything like it, and I just, when I look at this, and I look at it from an outside standpoint, of, okay, let's say I'm not in the loop and I didn't read what I read, I didn't see what I did. I'm just a normal American, and I hear stories, maybe not on mainstream media, but there's a lot of other, places to get sources at, and I'm not going to plug those here. But, I think, I don't know. I think when the president did what he did with these bailout packages, I think he really goofed. He done goofed. You know what I mean? You liquidated the United States currency. You got these Americans that are just blind to the fact of what's going on, and they're just giving the thumbs up to it. And we're left here to pick up the pieces. There's not enough of us. We talked about the 3%, back in the Revolutionary War, but, there's only, if we go by the same standards, 3% of Americans that know what's going on right now.
And you know who they are. They're the ones controlling this country. It's so wealthy. And screw
That's
America.
Right. Consequences will never be
Where
the same.
do I stand in this picture? Put us in the position we're in.
I've got two things I want to share with you.
Go ahead.
Real quick, if I can. Okay, well, number one is, who's making all the electronics right now? China, right? And they came out with this game called Call of Duty. And what the deal is, it's like the Chinese invasion of America. I think there's another one actually called Homefront, too. I tell you what we need. We need, when I was over in Korea, I watched these guys, they're showing us these new ships that they're building, these amphibious landing ships, and they're called, what are they called? I think it was mud kits is what it was.
Oh, man, don't go there with me, but go ahead.
Yeah, they're building these mud kits. And what they're going to do is eventually, number one, they polluted our children's mind with this government-paid education, this brainwashing that they give up there. And number two, they're going to have like over 9,000 of these mud kits put these troops on. And when they land in China, or when they land over here in California, what do you think the Californians, all these liberals over there, are going to be thinking? I think the whole COD thing, this mud kits, the Vespine gas, we need to build more pylons. That's what we need to do. It's like that missile launch we had a while back off the coast of California. Do you remember when they talked about that on the news for a couple of days?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's that was a bad deal. It's like, I just don't know where this is all going to end up. But I can tell you, in between the SU-35 that's doing barrel rolls around the F-22, the mud kits, the pylons, and then you got all this Vespine gas and these Chinese cars. They put these government boxes in these Chinese cars that they can track your position with. You know what I mean? They call it OnStar. Yeah. It's like, who do you think they're doing that for? You think they're doing that for your convenience, or do these Americans? I think the Americans do, but what's your thoughts on that? I think it's crap.
Go ahead.
There was times that when we were overseas, we used these SATCOM radios, and we sold our patents to the Chinese to these satellites, right? And they made some of those for us and launched them, and they shut down these satellites, because we gave the Chinese the U.S. satellites. I remember going to a meeting, and there was it was like a CP meeting, and Admiral Akbar was there. And he was like, boys, I don't know what you're thinking about doing over here, but this whole Vespine gas car mud kits deal, it's a trap.
It'd take a month to break Walmart. It'd take a month to break those bastards.
That's exactly right. That all come apart. I think MacArthur was right back in the Korean War. We should have nuked China. I'll be really honest.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
We would not have this problem today. Because right now there's 9 million. 9 million. That's over 9,000 companies there. Chinese troops. There's all these goofs. They're just screaming. They're trying to get across the wire into the country. They're going to do it. They're going to do it commercially, and they're going to do it financially, and they're, God forbid, one day to do it, physically. Could you imagine San Francisco when the Chinese troops and their mud kits hit the ground?
I'm not laughing. It would be terrible. Screw
That's
America.
Right. Consequences will never be the same.
Where do I stand in this